Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Susan here, back with another amazing video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Susan, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much, and let's get right into this video. Okay, so today's video, actually I was asked by one of my subscribers to do this video. So if you're watching, hi, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope it's helpful to you and also to many other students who might have these questions or who might plan to go and study abroad. As you have seen by the title, I'm gonna be talking about what you need to know before you go and study in China. And yeah, I hope you guys learn a thing or two, and please don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Okay, let's grow the family. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know if you're planning on going to study in China is that you are going to experience culture shock. What exactly is culture shock? Uneasiness and anxiety when you are in a new environment, an unfamiliar environment, a different culture. You can relate, comment below. So yeah, you're definitely going to experience culture shock. I know I did, because the first time I went to China, the way I felt, you guys, like I just wanted to go back home. Thank God I was with my older sister, because if she wasn't there for me, I don't know if I was going to be strong enough. It was so hard for me. Like everywhere I looked, there's no English, like there's just Chinese words, Chinese characters. I can't read anything. There are these weird smells. The people are staring at you because obviously you're black. And the worst part is that we didn't have the Chinese SIM card, so we couldn't be in contact with our parents at home, you get. So it just felt like we are so alone and everything, but thank God we had each other, so we were able to help each other be strong. So yeah, that's the first thing you're going to experience, culture shock. So you guys should be ready for that, and I just listed down some tips of how you guys can overcome the culture shock, right? So one thing that you can do is to realize that adjusting takes time, right? Like it's going to take time for you to adjust to that new environment. So don't be too hard on yourself, just give yourself time, and as time goes on, you're going to see that you have become more comfortable with the new environment. Another thing that you can do to overcome this culture shock is to focus on the positive around you, right? Understand that you are there for school, you're there to get your degree, your master's, whatever. Okay, just focus on the positive and try to ignore the negative. Another thing you can do is to make friends and develop relationships. Okay, make friends with the Chinese people. The Chinese are usually very friendly people. It's rare that I came across a Chinese who was mean. So yeah, make friends with Chinese people, develop relationships with them, and try to learn a few words or two in their language, and yeah, you certainly start to feel better. Another thing you can do is to maintain contact with your family and your friends back home. Okay, a big thing which can happen to you when you go abroad is that you can get cut off from your family. You can lose that, but don't lose that, because you need your family. Okay, you can go through so many things in a foreign country, and you need family and friends to help you stay strong. Okay, so don't cut off contact with family. Communicate often with family and friends, and also I would say talk to God about it, you know, like make God the center. Put God first, pray to him, because the Bible says God knows everything about you. So why not have God at the center of your life? Why not take all your cries, worries, culture shock to God, right? So yeah, that's the first thing you're going to experience, culture shock. The second thing that you should know if you're planning to go to study in China is that the scholarships are awarded not only according to your grades. Okay, yes, I know it might be shocking. You might be asking yourself, how can a scholarship be awarded not only according to the grades? Because isn't it that they follow the academic grades and performance? Yes, that is true. In China, they follow your academic performance. They look for the excellent students. Usually it's like the top 10 in the class who are going to like get the scholarships, the government scholarship, which is a full scholarship, or the university scholarship, which is like a half scholarship. But the bitter truth is that these scholarships is not according to how good you do in school. Okay, trust me, from my own experience, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what these people actually do, anyway, in my university, what they used to do, I don't know about other universities in China, but majority of them, what they do, they don't just follow your academic performance. They're also going to see if you have paid your school fees already, or if you have a habit of not paying your school fees in time, right? Yeah, I know, because this happened to me. Like we would get the good grades, do everything we could, but participate in the extracurricular activities to get the scholarships, right? But we were not given the scholarships. Only until later we discovered that they were only awarding scholarships to the students who had already paid their school fees. Yeah, I know, make it make sense, right? Isn't a scholarship supposed to be given to a student who is struggling financially? Well, in China, it's actually the other way around. The earlier you pay, the faster you pay your school fees, then they will consider you for a scholarship. There's that bias with the scholarships, but that's the bitter truth. So if you're going to China thinking that you're solely going to like finish your education throughout, on scholarship, then you really have to make sure you talk with your university about the type of scholarship, how it is. Otherwise you'll go there and you'll be disappointed when you find out that they only give you a scholarship for your first year, then the remainder of the years you have to cater for yourself, and that's not going to be good at all. So yeah, look into that. Okay, that's one thing that you should know. That's another thing that you should know. Okay, then the third thing that you should know before you go to China for study, about the cost of living. Okay, the accommodation fees, the tuition fees, electricity bills, food. So I'm going to talk about this using my university as an example. Okay, so in my university, actually, for us, our school fees were 25,000 RMB, that's Chinese currency, so 25,000 RMB per year. And our school had this policy where we could pay our tuition fees per semester, so we could pay half for like 6 months, right? So it was really helpful to us because not everyone could manage to pay all that money, 25,000. Yeah, so we could like pay half and then pay the other remainder in the other semester, in the other 6 months. Okay, so yeah, our school fees were 25,000. I don't know about other schools. I hear some other schools it goes as high as 45,000 or so. Yeah. And then for our accommodation, okay, so for our accommodation in our university, we had two main dorm buildings. We had two main dormitory buildings. Okay, so the first dormitory building was like a Chinese standard dorm where you typically had like, yeah, the room, the kitchen, everything, but the toilet was not a sitting toilet. Okay, the toilet was a squatting toilet, so you had to squat to use the toilet, and if you are not really comfortable with that, then yeah, so that one was actually a little bit cheaper than the dorm where I was staying, because the dorm where I was staying was kind of like, it used to be a hotel, but they transformed it into a dorm, so it was kind of like a hotel standard where it had like the room, the kitchen, and the sitting toilet with a shower and everything. So it was a little bit more comfortable, but a little bit more pricey again. Okay, so for me, my accommodation fee per year was 6,500 RMB, and we again were allowed to pay every 6 months. Okay, so every 6 months we would pay 3,250, which was okay. It wasn't really bad, so I could manage that, considering that I was working a few jobs, so I was able to like manage for a few years. And yeah, go watch my testimony story, okay, and then you understand. So yeah, that was the cost of my accommodation in my university. But generally, if you are planning on going to that school, the cost of the dorm buildings should vary from 2,250 RMB to 9,000 RMB, okay, per year. Yeah, so like the accommodation is different because they have different types of rooms. Okay, for me, my room was a 2-sharing room, so I had one other roommate who were 2 of us who were sharing one room. Then some other rooms have got like 3 sharing, 4 sharing. Okay, so I believe the 4 sharing ones are the ones that are way cheaper, which is like 2,000, and that's the ones that are in the Chinese standard dorm. Then the rest of the other ones, like 3 sharing, 2 sharing, are in the hotel standard dorm building. Okay, so yeah, that's how the accommodation varies. You just have to choose which one is best for you, and if you plan to go to my university anyway. Okay, yeah. And then coming to the electricity bills. Okay, so for the electricity bills, for us, our university installed the meters. Okay, we were using meters, so the meter would run until every month end, when they would come and check the meter and how much electricity you've used. So we were paying our electricity bills according to the meter, according to how much we used. Okay, which I feel was fair, but then again, sometimes the bill would come out abnormally high. Like some students would get a bill which is like 1,000 per month, and you'd ask yourself, like, is this really okay? Because I never used my aircon, I never used the heater, I never used the kettle in the room, so why is the bill this high, right? So, but for me and my roommate, most of the time our bill would come to like 400 per month. The highest it ever got, I think it was like around 700, 800. Yeah, I know. So yeah, we used to use the meter. So every month end they come to check the meter, then they tell you the price of the electricity, then you pay. Okay, so yeah. What else? Okay, so also for insurance, you have to pay insurance every year. So the insurance fee for my university was 800 yuan, though truthfully speaking, we never saw this insurance money. Every time we got sick, we could not access the insurance, so I don't even know why we are paying for insurance, because we never even saw it. Okay, so yeah, insurance is 800 per year. And then the visa fee, so renewing your visa, is like 400 per year. Okay, we used to pay 400 yuan per year to renew our visas, which I feel like was fair. So yeah, but the problem is that if you like paid school fees for 6 months, every 6 months, so every 6 months you have to pay a 400, meaning you pay 800 in a year. Okay, so yeah, when it comes to the cost of living in China, groceries, food, toiletries, transport, economy in China is very good. So things are cheap. Okay, transport is cheap, food is cheap, clothes are cheap, everything is practically cheap. Okay, so it's not hard. You don't need a lot of money just to get by every day. Okay, the major part of your money is going to go to your school fees, your accommodation, your visa, insurance. Yeah. Okay, so the fourth point that you need to know if you're planning on going to China is that you need to learn Chinese language. Okay, you are going to have to learn Chinese whether you like it or not. Okay, so if you're a person who does not like to learn other languages, then China might not be the place for you. Okay, and another thing again you need to know about the language is that you have to write what is known as a HSK4 exam. Okay, this is a Chinese language proficiency examination. It tests your ability to speak Chinese. Okay, so it has got up to 7 levels from 1 to 7, and the one that you are required to write in most universities, like my university, is level 4. Okay, so you need HSK4. If you do not have this HSK4, then you are not going to be given your degree when you complete your studies. Yes. Okay, so be aware of that if you are planning on going to China. Okay, yeah. The fifth thing that you will need to know when you go to China, that the Chinese people are very strict. Okay, and especially to foreigners, you have to really comply to their laws and their rules as a country. Okay, they do not tolerate any nonsense, especially from foreigners. Like I said, I know of a few foreigners who were found with drugs in their final year of school, and you know what happened to them? They were expelled. Okay, they were immediately deported back to their country. Okay, so the Chinese do not play around with nonsense. You have to go there and obey their rules, their laws. Don't try to be a king when you go to that land, because they're going to deal with you. Okay, so respect the Chinese laws, respect their rules, try to live in peace with their people, and you'll be okay. It is possible to find a job in China as a student. Okay, I myself was working multiple jobs as a student. I worked as a waitress before, I worked as an English teacher before, I worked in a cafe, like so many different jobs that I had. Okay, and one thing that you have to know also, even if you are able to find a job, right, you have to keep it on the low. Okay, like keep it secret. Not everyone should know about it, because it's not legal for foreigners, especially students, work in China. It's illegal. Okay, it's not legal. So if you are found, you're either going to be made to pay a fine of money, or they're going to just deport you instantly. Okay, so I myself had to hide several times from the police, from the law, because I wasn't allowed to work. The good part is most of my workplaces where I used to work, they would hide the foreign teachers, they would hide us students when the police came to check. Okay, so it helped us a lot. So yeah, you have to be aware of that. You are able to work, but you have to be careful. Okay, the seventh thing that you need to know when you go to China to study is that racism is prevalent. Okay, racism is very, very prevalent in China. Why? Because most of the people are very closed-minded. Okay, most of the people are unexposed. They're not exposed to the rest of the world. They are closed-minded, so racism is prevalent. Okay, the kids, most of the time, they get scared of you as a black person because of your skin color. They start to cry, to shout, to scream. Okay, because they've never seen someone like you. You're different. But don't let that make you feel bad. You can just like talk to them, and they'll become familiar with you, and you can explain to them that there are different people in this world, and they'll become more open-minded. Okay, so racism is there. I have experienced racism, but I also have experienced a lot of friendly Chinese. Most of the Chinese, again, like I said, they are friendly people, they're welcoming. So there is the racism part, but there's also the friendly part of China. So you just have to find the balance. The eighth thing that you need to know is that Christianity in China exists. Yes, I know a lot of people have told you there's no Christianity in China. How do they pray? Blah blah blah. Christianity is there. Churches are there. We used to go to pray at a church. Okay, so yeah, Christianity is there. So the ninth point, okay, if you're planning on going to China, is that you need to know that there are extremes of temperature. Okay, when it gets hot, it gets hot. Okay, it's hotter than here in Zambia. Like we think here it's hot. Go to China in the summer and see how hot it gets. Okay, you literally be sleeping without any clothes because it gets so hot. Okay, and also when it gets cold again, it goes below zero, like it goes to the negative. That's where I even got sick. If you watched my diagnosed with asthma story time, yeah, that's how I even got sick like that, because it gets cold. Okay, so you have to protect yourself when it's very cold. Wear a lot of clothes, and also when it's very hot, make sure you have enough water, you have the ACs on, because like extremes of temperature, okay? And then it also rains throughout the year. There's nothing like rain season, okay? The rain can come anytime it wants. It just rains from January to December. It can rain, okay? Sometimes we won't see the sun for like 1 week because it's just raining, okay? So you guys should know that if you're planning on going to China, okay? And the last thing that you guys should know, the 10th point that you guys need to know, is that China is a land of opportunity, okay? There are so many opportunities in China. You can study, reach your PhD level, you can have different kind of jobs. There's just so much opportunity, okay? So you have to really work with the opportunity that you are given, okay? Because even the Bible says, like, when you are presented with an opportunity, make the best of it, because you might not have that opportunity again, okay? So China is a land of opportunity. Dreams do come true. You just have to work hard, know the right places to go, know the right connections, and yeah, you have an amazing time and stay in China, okay? So I really hope this video has been helpful to you guys. If you're planning on going to China for studies, big ups to you, okay? And if you know someone who wants to go there, send this video to them, share with them, it might help them, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video, you guys, and I hope this video has been very helpful to you and nice. And please do like this video, okay? The more likes you give the video, the more it helps to get the video to reach other people, okay? Like, comment, share, and do subscribe. Let's keep growing our channel, okay guys? I love you guys, okay? I love all 525 of you, and I will see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye. I don't know how we got here, but been going through the phases, baby.